I want to talk about like opportunities, because that's a big thing that people are interested in, and also like the worries, because I think people are worried that the jobs are going to be taken away. There's this concern that, in the old days, technology was taking away perhaps factory jobs or basic jobs, and AI is going to take away a lot of like knowledge worker jobs.
I mean, at the moment, I don't think it is, in a sense that I think these AI tools are really impressive, but of course, when you actually really start putting pressure on them in terms of something really difficult, they start to fall down a little bit. So I think that, your job's safe for now, but, inevitably, eventually, we are going to have, image generation that's so good that, it is comparable to an artist. We're going to have text generation that's so good that it's comparable to a writer. I think as a society, we have to think about what we're going to do when that is the case. I think in the short term, there's not a huge threat to sort of office work and things like this. If your day-to-day job is, coding, or your day-to-day job is data entry, or, financial, work with, let's say, spreadsheets or something like this, the ability of an AI to use these tools is still limited, right? It's impressive sometimes, but it is limited. In the next 5 or 10 years, we're just going to see better versions of what we have now, but nothing's going to substantially, completely change in terms of, we're not going to jump from where we are now to something that can, think and act for itself. We'll see if I'm proved wrong, but I'm pretty firmly a believer in that. So I think that we're just going to see much better chatbots and much better image generation. One thing that hopefully we'll see soon is more grounding in real data. So, when you can see this on Bing already. If you use Bing, it does a kind of web search and then injects that into its own prompt to try and give you better informed information. Now that sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. But I think that grounding the output is a good idea, because at the moment you're just getting a kind of amalgamation of training data which might be out of date.
I always advise people to ride the waves. I mean, you and I have been around the block a few times, and in tech I've ridden quite a few waves. The point is, if someone's younger or someone's changing careers, jump on this wave, right?
There's no downside as far as I can tell, right? Because normally you might imagine there's a downside where, like, what if this technology goes kaput in, I'm learning some specific library. With AI, I think we can kind of rule out the idea that it's going away.
Yeah.
Right? Because it just keeps getting better, and also it solves so many problems. Even if it didn't get better, it's still super useful for solving problems. An understanding of AI that you get in 2024 is going to last you a lifetime, because I just can't see how it would go away. It will look very different in a few years, but you'll be able to build on that knowledge that you've already got. So I think there's no drawbacks.
I love that, because it's, like some technologies, it's a solution trying to find a problem. But like you've said here, there's so many problems already being solved by AI.
Outside of the core of the hype stuff that you see in the media, there are thousands of examples of smaller AI and deep learning applications that are solving problems across the world, right? And they just quietly happen behind the scenes. They don't, get all the big hype, but they're doing a huge transformative job. And so even if you don't go and work for the big tech company training the next ChatGPT, you might still be doing something with massive impact, right? And really, really worthwhile doing.